So a couple weeks ago, I was browsing through Netflix and I saw a weird title on there called Loudermilk. And I immediately was very interested because I'm like, what a weird title. What the heck does Loudermilk even mean? And I ended up clicking on the show, and I have to say the show has definitely won me over. It's a surprise that I had not heard of, but I am very glad that I found it. Let's talk about Loudermilk. So like I said, this show has kind of a weird title, but it's not a weird show by any means. It's actually a very heartwarming show, and it's elevated by very good performances. To start, the show is about a man named Sam Loudermilk, and he is a recovering alcoholic who runs a substance abuse group. Already, that seems like a pretty interesting concept. It seems like it might be kind of deep, but this show is actually billed as a comedy, but I will tell you that it is plenty deep, and this subject matter is taken seriously, and these characters are just so interesting and so memorable. Ron Livingston does a fantastic job as the main character. He is a grouch in every sense of the word, but he is saying things that I think that sometimes a lot of people are thinking. He's a very blunt person. He's a very pessimistic person, but I consider him to be somewhat of a realist, because I'm kind of like him, but I'm not to his level. Definitely not to his level. But yeah, this guy, he's very much negative Nancy. He is willing to call you out on your bullshit anytime you do something wrong, and he's less likely to look at his own bullshit. Again, I'm not too far from that. I'm trying to get better, but what can I do? But anyway, I think that he does a great job, and this show is definitely held up and elevated by his fantastic performance. Because yeah, this guy is kind of a jerk, but he also, at the end of the day, you can tell that there's like an emotional side to him. He actually is a good person down to his core. He cares about people. He really cares about this group of people that he's looking out for. Can he be a bit blunt? Can he be a bit direct and maybe sometimes hurtful? Yeah, he does. But at the same time, he actually is coming from a place of love. And I guess that's one thing about me. I definitely am a no-nonsense, kind of a blunt kind of a person. People say I have brutal honesty, and it probably is true. I am not extremely far off from Sam Loudermilk in terms of my honesty. Like, you're gonna get what I have to say. And don't ask me for my opinion if you don't really want it. One of the things I thought was super interesting after I actually finished the first episode was when I discovered that it was actually had the Farley brothers involved. I did not know, but the Farley brothers definitely have made some very high quality stuff. There's Something About Mary, Me, Myself, and Irene, Dumb and Dumber. They have, some silly taste. Their taste is probably not to everybody's liking, but I have to say their stuff is a guilty pleasure to me, and I enjoy watching their stuff. And what's interesting about their style is that they can have that raunchy, over-the-top humor, but they know how to show you the serious stuff. And that is something I think this show really excels at. And definitely makes this show, to me, something that a lot of people should be checking out. Because I had not heard of this show previously before this just popped up on Netflix. And now you can see, if you look at Netflix, it's actually trending. And that's because people are realizing that this is a very good show. But I'm not sure if everybody's realizing it. So that's why I wanted to make this video, to point it out. Yeah, if you see that cover on Netflix, you should definitely click on it.
Asshole? Coffee for asshole?
Yeah, that's me.
So that's my spiel. I just wanted to get people paying attention to this show because I think that it probably went under the radar for a lot of people, but it definitely deserves to have, a little bit more attention. It deserves to be elevated. This is a very good gem of a show. It is literally like a gem. It's that hidden gem that I hadn't heard of. You might not have heard of it, but you should definitely pick it up because it's definitely valuable. And so I would say that, I have finished season 1 and season 2 of the show so far. If I was going to give this show a rating, I would definitely give it every bit of an 8 or maybe even a 9. Let's just call it a 9. I think it's a very well-made show, super entertaining. I guess maybe I shouldn't give it a number because I haven't finished season 3. But for season 1 and 2, I definitely think it's a 9 and definitely worth your time. That's all I have to say about that. If you thought this was an interesting video, please click like. And if you want to see more things like this video and this hat, then subscribe to this channel. And that is everything I have to say. Later.